Okay, sorry. Welcome to the Swadhyaya challenge. Thank you, masters. Thank you for joining me today. Today we'll learn about the story Embrace Your Power. This is the book we're going to read today. I am just going to take you through the highlights of the book. This book is very wonderful book written by Laus E. Hay. She is a very famous author and she has written so many great books and also have her own, Hay Academy or Foundation. So before going into the meditation, we will just do 5 minutes of meditation just to calm down, so that we will shed off all of our whatever the stress we had from the morning. Just 5 minutes of meditation. I will guide you. Let's unplay the music. Close your eyes. Clasp your hands. Completely relax your body. Relax your mind. Gently observe your normal, natural, easy and soft breath.
మనస్సు యొక్క శూన్యంలో ఆత్మ ప్రకాశవంతమవుతుంది, సువిదితమవుతుంది, ప్రస్ఫుటమవుతుంది, శక్తివంతమవుతుంది, తేజోవంతమవుతుంది. ఆత్మ మనసుని శూన్యం చేసుకోవాలి. నో థాట్స్. అది ఎలా సంభవం అంటే శ్వాసతో కూడితే అది వెంటనే సంభవం. ఉందిగా మందిగా
Let go any stress. That has been carrying. Observe the energies. If you feel any pain in any part, just release it. Observe and release. We are what? Made of our choices in the past. That is what we are. Let's accept that. Just be with us. Last 2 minutes, my dear friends.
ఎలక్ట్రిక్ కార్ దొరికితే అది తీసుకొని 250 pounds అయింది అది.
Last 1 minute, my dear friends. Last 30 seconds. Slowly try to come back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Gently rub both of your hands and keep it on your eyes for 2 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you, masters, for joining. Before going to the session, deepest pranams to Guru Brahmarshi Pitama Patri sir, who has always encouraged us to increase our wisdom through the enormous amount of resources we have all around. So I've been meditating, just a brief introduction about myself. I've been meditating from past 5 years. So whatever the experiences I have, so whatever, it's been great so far. But somewhere I feel like I was lacking something, because to understand or to improve the intellectual knowledge, I was like sitting in meditation for an hours and hours. Probably I can get a little bit of information what I need personally, but there is enormous of resources. Then I got a strong message for myself last year that okay, I have to read more books. So that's where this Swadhyaya challenge has come in picture. So I wanted everyone to come into the platform and read and share their knowledge and experience. Every master who has come to this session so far has shared tremendous wisdom. Not only the book, they have been sharing their personal experiences, like how they have applied that particular topic, like a situation based wisdom. So it was so great. And today we're gonna, this is a very small book, very simple book, Embrace Your Power. I hope you can see Embrace Your Power by, I don't know whether I'm pronouncing her name, Laus Hay. So a little bit about this book is about, like, I got this book when I ordered some other book, like, hey, if you add one more book, you will get a free shipping. So this book came to me, and then this week I was wondering, okay, what should I read, because most of the masters are busy. So somehow I saw a video of her talking about the self-love. In one of the reel, she was asking her audience, like, once you get up in the morning, go in front of mirror and say, looking into the eyes directly, say, I love you. I love you. Let me know how I can make you happy. So that she was saying that so confidently that, okay, that technique may sound not so great, but that works. So a bit about this book is about The first edition of this book came out at 20 years ago. So most of the topics, like we feel like, okay, I know it, but when I read this book, I see there are some takeaways still we can apply after 20 years also. So her hope was to help all women experience and take ownership of their self-love, self-worth, self-esteem, and rightful, powerful place in the world. Today, her wisdom rings as true as ever, her words resonating with women seeking the best next step on their path, from relationship to health to sexuality to finances. Laos holds up for our examination the standards that have traditionally refined and limited women. So she encourages us to continuously shift our internal ground so we can embrace progress in ways both big and small. So this book, this book is about like something old and something new. This book have helped women reach their true potential. Has some of, like, it's a combination of old ideas and then the new ideas. So this is a new edition. So I was saying that, yeah, encouraging women to embrace their inner power is the best thing to the planet. So I really like the way how she is connecting. The embracing the inner power is not only that I am getting benefited myself or my family or maybe my extended family, but this is directly proportional to the planet. So when women are suppressed, everybody loses. When women win, we all win. So that's what at first four words about this book. And intro is about, like, the author says, see, I'm not a healer and I'm not here to heal anybody, but she is saying I'm kind of teaching the ideas so that you can embrace your own power. She also urges us to read as many as books and study with many other teachers. So it is one of the core principle of PSSM. Like Sir has always encouraged to go and gain the wisdom from different Western masters, Eastern masters, and there has been tremendous of wisdom over there. So all men, including you and me, like you and me, like this words is from author. What she's saying is, we have been shamed and blamed since childhood. Like, from the childhood itself, it is programmed and conditioned to be in a certain way. Like, in a certain way, like she says her example of, as a little girl, she always watched her mom walking 2 to 3 steps behind her father. So it's an indication that the little girl is picking up from her mom that how she has to behave in the society, or like how she can never, she's never walked, her mom never walked next to his dad. So it took some time to realize her it's not normal. Slowly changed inner belief system, consciousness began to create self-worth and self-esteem. As inner world changed, her outer world also has changed. So this needs to be developed. Like, when our self-worth is strong, we will not accept any positions of inferiority or abuse. So many people are accepting the abuse, or like, if somebody treat them badly, they're accepting because they themselves think they are not worth. So that is the reason she says that that has to be changed. When you realize your own self-worth, that's when you start standing up for yourself. So this book have around 11 chapters, but I'm not sure. I'm going into the deep. The first one is about we have much to do and much to learn. So the first chapter, she talks beautifully about, there is an excerpt and from 1950 high school economics book. She listed that, like, how a woman has to be before her man, like her husband comes to the house, right? There are certain list they have given in 1950 high school economics book. Have dinner ready. So what they're saying is plan ahead, even the night before, to have delicious meal. Start thinking about the meal so that uh, her husband knows that okay, she's thinking of about him. And when men come home hungry, so they wanted, like, have a good food. That's point number one. Point number two is prepare yourself. So when before he comes to the house, make sure you are completely settled down, take rest, and get ready. When I say get ready, like, okay, right? Like, get fresh, touch up your makeup, put a ribbon on your hair. So, you are looking, you look very pretty welcoming him, and clear up away all the clutter. If the house is really clutter, make sure remove all the clutter, and it's very presentable. And prepare the children also. When husband arrives at home, make sure the children are not cranky, and they are, their hair is nicely combed, and if necessary, change their clothes. They are little treasures, and he would like to see them playing the part, and minimize all the noise. And some don'ts are: don't greet him with problems or complaints. Don't complain as if he is, like, late for dinner. Count this as a minor compared to what he might have gone through that day. Make him comfortable, and also listen to him. You have a dozen things to tell, but the moment of his arrival is not the right thing to talk about the problems first. And make this evening his. Never complain if he does not take you out for dinner or other any entertainments. Instead, try to understand him. This is the way the society has conditioned from 1950. There is nothing wrong in any of this, that if you wanted to do out of heart, willingly, you can totally do it. But it is been programmed and completely negate themselves in order to please their husbands. This was how a good woman has been picturized. So we women today are one who, must rethink our lives. We can reinvent ourselves by learning to question everything. So this is what one of the key takeaways from Saroja madam, like, recently, asking question why, right? So this seems like quite routine: cooking, cleaning, childcare, running errands, like all these things have done automatically for long, need to be re-examined. Do we want to live the rest of our lives as we have done before, or with just a pieces missing as time goes by? So building women does not mean having to diminish men. So what the point here is, it is not about, you're seeing men as low, but it is something that you have to examine. And it is and do not blame ourselves as men or a society. Blame is always a powerless act. When you blame something, it is not going to give us anything. So it is, she also says, I have a great compassion for men and the difficulties they face as they move through the life. Even they are too stuck in their roles and carry great burdens and enormous pressures. And if you really want, like, even man is also conditioned in a such a way that, like, you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to seem to be weak, you should always have your own way of dealing things. Don't seem to be weak in front of other. So even these things, they cannot express their emotions also. So in addition to, most men regret the lack of good relationship with their fathers. So if the father have, like, nowadays, like, it has been changing, but back in that time, like, fathers are always like studious, or like, they raise their children in a way that, like, very strict. So how much they wanted to hear from their fathers that they were loved or valued. So these culture have been brainwashed into believing into good. So we need to put everyone else needs before our own. So what she's trying to say is, first take care of your needs, and then put the others the next line. Many of us have lived our fulfilling demand. we do not have to get sick in order to get some rest. And I like this point very much. So nowadays, like work-life balance is the very first thing everybody is looking for. Nobody wants to go for more money also, at least what I hear from ladies. So there is like many people are waiting to get sick to get rest. You don't have to get sick to get a rest. Whenever you feel like taking a rest, then go for it. So we need to know really, we are not second-hand citizens. There is a myth perpetuated by several segments of society, and it is completely a nonsense. So the soul has no inferiority. The soul does not have sexuality also. The soul is not a male soul, a soul is not a female soul. A soul is a soul, which takes a different, genders, but the soul comes first. So when we identify ourselves as a soul, there is no what do you call it is time to release the anger and blame also. We must learn to value our own lives, our own abilities, as much as we have been taught to value others. So today is a time for us women to acknowledge and claim our own power. Now is a time for us to take our own thinking in hand and begin to create the world of equality. So when we take women care of ourselves is a positive way to have self-respect, self-worth. Life of all human beings, including men, will have taken a quantum jump in right direction. There will respect and love between genders and both men and women. So there have been for a long time, women have waited to have more dominion over our own lives. Now we have the window of opportunity to be all that we can be. Yes, there is still much inequality in the earthing power and legal power of men and women. We still settle for what we cannot get in courts of law. And she takes one example from 1935. Eleanor Roosevelt pushed a bill through Congress that made it a law that every new house built have to have an indoor bathroom. So she has to fight, or she has to push that the indoor bathroom needs to be a part of like everyone's house. So how will we able to tell the rich from the poor? The men pushed back saying that I don't know, like if the bathroom is inside or outside, there is no way that they can differentiate between this is a rich house or is a poor house. So we take ourselves so much granted now, our indoor bathrooms, but this was being pushed by one of the women in 1935 to bring this happen. So it's all about the first chapter is about like we know a little and we have to know more. And the second part is about advertising. I don't think so. I have to touch a lot on this one, targeting women's self-esteem. Ideally, this brings a point that there is a comparison, there is a body shaming, like you have to be in a perfect shape and perfect size, where people start comparing yourself, or like a 10-year-old girl is started doing dieting because she wanted to fit into that thing that society has built. So she also says, whenever there is a campaign, whenever there is an ad that comes that shaming, write a letter to them saying that I am not going to buy your goods. So I think this is pretty much 20 years ago, but it is still some pointers are now also, it's pretty much valid in terms of comparison, in terms of how modeling industry is, like how everyone wants to look like that. What is the real health, without understanding what is the real health. And the next one is about choosing positive thoughts and beliefs. I feel there is very important takeaways from this. We all know, okay, we have to be positive and we have to change our belief system. But the words we speak and the belief we hold are very powerful. Are we really checking what we are speaking every day? Are we talking, like one of the important topic from PSSM is Vakshetra. How am I delivering my message? Am I putting it in a positive way or am I putting in a negative way? So that's where like when it starts from at a thought level, bhavana kshetram, and then it comes to the vak kshetra, like how we are delivering that message. So it is very important we think a thought or speak a word, the universe is listening and responding to us. If there is something in our life that we do not like, then we have the power to make changes. We have the power of our thoughts and words. As we change our thinking and our words, our experience also change. So there is a powerful and liberating concept as we believe it. It becomes time for us. It becomes time true for us. To me, this is how we address all the issues first. First, we make the changes in our minds, and then life responds accordingly. So when we always living in the past, what are the living in this moment is what we have created from our past thoughts and beliefs. So this is the same experience I have in in my meditation just now when we started our session. We are here because of our thoughts, because of our choices, because of our decisions. What? Sorry for the disturbance. So, if there is something going on in your lives that we don't like, we have the option of recreating our own experience for the future. So that's a time now by changing everything in a positive way. So to begin our change our thinking, we may not see many positive results right away. Uh, I think today and then I can't expect that to happen tomorrow. But as we continue with our thought patterns, we will find our tomorrows becoming different. At least we will start feeling not stuck, not stuck in that old patterns. At least we'll start feeling good. When we start feeling good, and then we can, our actions will change. When our actions will change, our results also will change. So many people ask, hey, how can I think positively when I am always surrounded by negative people? So when I am around people who are saying negative things, I say silently to myself, this is what author is saying. It may be true for you, but I'll say inside myself, it is not true for me. So people like you, we try to, argue, or we try to, put our point if constantly somebody are saying it negatively. We try to say that if the people are not accepting it, then I say it may be true for you, it's not true for me. And also, how do we say no? She says that, okay, whenever I'm saying no to others, people get completely exhausted until they come to a point to say no. But after some point, like when they're try to say no, internally I'm saying yes to me. So I'm putting myself as first and then others as a second. That's a catch here. So always we're thinking about others, so that's why saying no becomes so hard. But internally I'm saying yes to me. Then I am more important to me for myself than the other person. So that's where saying yes, saying no becomes very easy. And I will also, so she touches a little bit on how our thoughts, how positive thoughts or how negative thoughts impacts our body. There is a whole science behind it, and which is explained in a pretty deeper way. So whenever I hold negative thoughts, then you're sending all negative things into your body, and that that chemicals. So when our thoughts are loving and empowering and positive, the messengers carry other chemicals to enhance the immune system. At the same time, Like when I'm saying negative word, the chemical messengers that travel throughout the body whenever I think of a thought or a speak, whenever thoughts are angry, judgmental, or critical, the chemicals they produce depress our immune system. This is not a new thing. It has been proved, but how do scientifically it's called neuropeptides that that carries that chemical. We know neurons are the connecting system where it goes to the each and every part of our body. Then it is like every cell of your body is listening your whatever you're triggering, what you're triggering. So science is finally agreeing that many of us have known for years, that there is a body mind connection. This communication between the mind and body never stops, never sleeps. So your mind is constantly relaying your thoughts to the cell, to your body. So many people have done wonders by using this technique called placebo. I think that's a great book also. So out of in a day, like we produce 60,000 thoughts. Out of 60,000 thoughts, the effect of our thoughts is cumulative. Poisonous thoughts poison our bodies. Science is now confirming that we cannot allow ourselves to indulge in negative thinking. It is making us sick and killing us. For a long time, I did not understand the expression we are all one when we are all created equally. So it did not mean sense. She said it did not make sense to me that we are all unfair and equal. So she always thought, oh, rich is different, poor is different. There are some beautiful people, there are some unattractive people, there are some brilliant people, there are some stupid people. They all seems different. But finally, when the understanding grew, I learned that the credit our lecture with this new level of comprehension. The thoughts we think, the words we speak affect all of our bodies equally. So either you're an Asian, or you're an American, or you're a Jewish, or you're from our Chinese. So this is what it means. Like we are all one. All our bodies affect in a similar way through the thoughts. So that's what it is mean that we are all one. And then she also touches on the importance of forgiveness and then the love. So forgiveness and love are healing to us all, no matter this sounds very, very simple, but it is very, very hard in implementing this unless until we are aware of our thoughts or what we are thinking and doing. So all of individuals on this planet need to heal their spirits before they can have permanent healing in their bodies. First our spirits, like my at a soul level I have to heal, and then the body will heal. So if we are just thinking about the bodies, it is not going to work. That's not how it's going to work. We come here to learn the lessons of forgiveness and self-love. No matter what they are, will escape these lessons. Are you fighting your lessons, insisting on being self-righteous and bitter? Are you willing to learn to forgive others and yourself? Are you willing to love yourself and move on to the richness and fulfillment of life? So these are the lessons of life that affects us all equally. So we are all one. We are all created equally. Love heals us all for those who are ready to work on deeper spiritual level. So I urge to read Anatomy of the Spirit, The 7 Stages of Power and Healing by Carolyn Myss, PhD. Her information is phenomenal. She is referring the other books also. So right now, what kind of a thoughts we have, what kind of neuropeptides are traveling, so all this makes us sick and well. So she also touches on the ego. Let us all clear that our ego self always wants to keep us enslaved and unhappy. So ego needs food, and the food for ego is whenever we are unhappy, it gives us the false happiness. Probably I might get a happiness by winning an argument, or by comparing or getting a better salary or better car or something from others, or like whoever I thought like somebody has insulted me. So I made sure that okay, I will earn more than them. I bring the car or whatever it is. It makes me happy for some time, some little time. But that's how much is it a real happiness coming entirely inside? Or your happiness is over the others, or it's completely a happiness coming from the inside of it? So that's where she talks about ego. So ego says, hey, take one more bite, one more drink, smoke one more, and just do one more thing. So, but we are not our bodies, we are not our thoughts, we are not our egos. We own our own bodies. We are the thinker that thinks that thoughts. We are the thinker that think the thoughts. That means who is the thinker here? When our self-worth, self-esteem are strong, we will never give up in the voice of ego. We are far more than we think we are. So this she also gives a very nice affirmations in the next chapter. Okay, so answers are within us. So I have to touch this point. Like, we always wanted answers from outside, but she says the answers are inside. We want to find our inner resources and our universal connection, the great central source of all of the life, the universal connection. We want to find and use our inner core. We all have a treasure trove of wisdom, peace, love, and joy inside of us, and they are only a breath away. Such a beautifully put 20 years ago, like it's just a breath away. That means you have to catch hold of our breath, then you can easily access all of this greater treasure. I believe that within us is an infinite well of peace, joy, love, and wisdom. When I say it is only a breath away, I mean that we all have to do connect with these places, to close our eyes, take a deep breath, and say to ourselves, I now go to that place within me where there is infinite wisdom. The answers I seek are within me. So this is the affirmation. I now to go to that place within me where there is infinite wisdom. Often when we are doing meditation also, we close our eyes with the questions. Why this is happening like that? Why that is happening there? Or I'm stressed, I need to relax. But by releasing this thoughts are powerful. By this affirmation, what we are trying to tap is like, I wanted to go there where there is infinite wisdom. The answers I seek are within me. By giving that acknowledgement, we are actually tapping into that answers. And all of the answers we will ask are ready within us. That's the value and importance of meditation, my dear friends. It quiets us down so that we can hear our own inner wisdom. So that's where there is no point of ego here. If somebody is saying, my neighbor is saying, or my sister is saying, I may not ready to accept it, but my own inner is saying this, then what is the point? Where is the point of argument? Where is the point of that not accepting that? That's such a easy, simple thing that it's been within us. Our inner wisdom is the best direct connection we have all of life. We do not need to chase after those gifts of inner wisdom. We need to create that opportunity for them to come to us. That opportunity is nothing but you can take the time, sit quietly, to go within and find peace, deep and serene as a mountain pool. In meditation, we can find joy. We can connect with an infinite well of love. Infinite well, the abundance of love. We meant to explore new depths. So I'm asking you to go within and be willing to change your thinking. So it's a very easy way to change thinking when we connect ourselves deeply. So we all can create rich inner space. Let your thoughts be your own best friends. Most people think the same thoughts over and over. Remember, like we think an average of 60,000 thoughts, and all of the thoughts are repetitive. Most of the thoughts are not helpful. Most of the thoughts are like, either worrisome thoughts. So instead of investing your time on that one, invest our time in closing our eyes and connecting to that inner wisdom. Think new thoughts every day. Think creative thoughts. Think of new way to do old things. Whether I am cooking every day the same curry, or probably I can try doing it in a different way. Whether I'm making a report, or I can try to explore and doing that report in a different way, where I can learn. Otherwise, like soul needs always. Whenever we do a new thing, that's when we when learn new things, we are always happy. That's what soul seeks the experiences about. Our consciousness is like a garden, whether it is a garden around our house or the garden of our minds. The most important first step is to build good soil. So we all know it have to nurture with a right environment. Then the outcome that comes is the right things. And overcoming fear, becoming the way so many women are still are raised to be caretakers or servers to put others' need first. Many of us do not have enough self-esteem or self-worth. We have great fears of abandonment. We fear loss and lack of insecurity. That's the reason many of us, we can't stand up and say, maybe we feel like, okay, what about I lose my family member, whatever, I lose this. Because of the fear, you don't take a right step. So she takes some examples also here, like people who stay in terrible jobs, terrible family situations and marriages, because we are so terrified of being on our own. Women don't believe that they are good enough. They don't believe they can take care of themselves, and yet they can't. For many women, there is a great fear of being successful. They do not believe that they deserve to feel good or to be prosperous. This is so true that sometimes, like, if you get a success, there are many kids also, they don't accept their own success. They say, oh, do I really deserve for this success? That means they have to value their own um, self-worth. When you always put yourself second, it is hard to feel deserving. Many women are frightened to be more successful or earn more money than their fathers did. So, how do we overcome fear of abandonment or the fear of success? They are two sides of the same coin. It is learning to trust the process of life itself. Life is here to support us and lead us, to guide us. We will allow it to do so. If we are raised with guilt and manipulation, then we feel not good enough. But if we are raised to believe life is difficult and frightening, then we don't know how to relax. Then let life take care of us. We watch the news and believe that the world is out to get us. We believe becomes true for us. What is true for someone else do not have to true for us. If we only buy into society's negative beliefs, then these expectations will be true for us and we will have many negative experiences. She also says, like, how the angels helps. Okay, so we always come with two guardian angels. So if you want, these angels are here to help us. So whenever we are in a fearful manner, in a fearful situation, we have to trust there are angels around us who are guarding us. So they love us very much and wait our invitation. So are we really in a situation to think that positively and ask for the help, that, hey, angels, come to me and give your support or guidance or love? So that's a much awaited lesson here. Whenever you're in a terrible situation, there are angels sitting next to us and waiting for us to call them. So some women can see their angels, some can feel again, some people can see their angels, some can hear their voices, some sense their names. I call my two angels guys. I sense them as pair. When there is an issue I don't know how to handle, I turn it over them. Guys, you handle it. I don't know what to do. When good things happen, when asynchronous things happen in my life, I immediately say, thanks guys, because universe always appreciate the gratitude. When we say thanks to one thing, it gives the 10 things back. So love, gratitude and appreciation do make us of them. That is why they are with you. Angels love to be helpful. To connect with our own personal angels, like sit quietly, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and try to sense their presence just behind your shoulders. So let's try this next time when you do meditation, when you close your eyes, and make sure that you feel any sense here. That's how few people feel, right? Few people can hear. They will try to come us in all forms. Allow yourself to experience their protection. Ask them for help with some problem or for the answer to a question you have. You may feel an immediate connection. You may feel need to practice for a while, but let me assure you, they are there. They love you. There is nothing to fear. Then so recognizing angels are like, completely trusting, then where is the point of fear? There is no fear. You can do anything. So affirmations providing a new directions in life. So affirmations, like there are some affirmations must always be in the present tense. Say I have, I am instead of I will have. I will have is a future tense, or I want to be is a future tense. When affirmations are spoken in future tense, then the results may stay out there just beyond our reach. So this is also one very good technique, in a good way to time take. People are busy, like we always say, oh, I don't have time for our inner work, to get together with a friend or a friend to create little group study. One afternoon or evening set aside, she's saying something like, okay, how to make time for ourselves to do the inner work. So the questions, honestly, our replies in our new direction. So she's asking us to take us some questions. How can I take this time to make my life the best it can be? What are the things I want from my mate? What are the things I believe I need to get from a mate? What would fulfill me? How can I get it to myself? What is my excuse? I have no one to put me down. What have I come to learn? What have I come to teach? How can I cooperate with life? So it's always safe. So these are all the questions he's asking us to put it down, so that at least we will start questioning ourselves beyond all of the materialistic possessions. It is time for us to create our own philosophies. It is time for us to create our own laws. She is asking you create your own life law and then follow from there. There is a set of laws that I have developed for myself over a period of time. So she says, I am always safe and divinely protected. Everything I need to know is revealed to me. Everything I need comes to me in the perfect time and space. Life is a joy filled with love. I am loving and I am loved. I am vibrantly healthy. I prosper wherever I turn. I am willing to change and grow. All is well in my world. So she says, I too have problems and crises. The way I have learned to handle them, the moment a problem comes up, immediately she says, all is well. Everything is working out for my higher good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. Or all is well. Everything is working out for the highest good for everyone concerned. Out of this experience, only good will come. We are all safe. So by saying this repeatedly for 20 times within a short period of time, either mind will clear or will see the situation differently. Because of this, over repeatedly saying this, your mind will take a leap from negative thinking to the positive thinking, and then you will see the situation in a different way. Sometimes when we get over the panic of situation, we may find the change really is better than what was originally planned. Sometimes the way we try to control our experience is not the best for us. So affirmations for women, I read, there are so many affirmations. I'm not sure I can read everything now, but I will just try to, read few. I claim my feminine power now. Feminine, like we all know, the feminine power is more powerful. Like we have Durga, the Shakti. The Shakti is like, it creates, if you know the how the Durga is born, like all three murtis have to come together. They could not kill Mahishasura. And then the Durga has come to, kill Mahishasura. And then all of the three murtis were like, calling her. So that's a power of femininity. That's a power we have in everyone. So I'm discovering how wonderful I am. I see within myself a magnificent being. I am wise and beautiful. I love what I see in me. I choose to love and enjoy myself. I am my own woman. I am in charge of my life. I have a great life. My life is filled with love. My love is my life. The love in my life begins with me. That means I'm not seeking love from outside. Often I have complaints. I do complain about sometime and my husband, but immediately that change, that will be for momentary. And they said, first the love has to come from inside. Am I giving love to myself? Am I giving to love for him? Than asking or complaining. So I'm a powerful woman. I am worth of love and respect. I stand on my own 2 feet. I accept and use my own power. I love and enjoy myself. I am deeply fulfilled by my life. I love being a woman. I fill my life with love. I feel totally complete and whole. I'm safe and all is well in my world. So these are the powerful affirmations, a healing meditation. And she says like, okay, I join the ranks of women healing other women. I am a blessing to the planet. My future is bright and beautiful. And so it is. So she says, stop all criticism. Don't scare yourself. Be committed to the relationship you have with yourself, and treat yourself as though you're loved. Take care of your body. Educate yourself. Build a financial future for yourself, and fulfill your creative side also. It's not that only these things, but create take an activity that can help anything from baking a pie to designing a building. Give yourself time to express yourself. Whenever we do a creative things, that's how we express ourselves, and make joy and happiness the center of your world. Have integrity. Develop a strong spiritual connection with life. So your relationship with yourself, how we it says that, yeah, like how we see ourselves is a gift. There are some I think I'm just at chapter 4, but I would just touch up on some of the points, like how the parenting has to be, like how you will incorporate the self-worth and self-esteem to the children right from when they are small, and not bringing up our children to love themselves. There are so many single mothers struggling to raise children alone. It is very difficult job, and I applaud each and every woman. So she's always saying that, she's saying these women really know having children is, am I willing and able to raise my children all by myself? Raising children is more than many bride anticipate. Raising children as a single parent. But she's saying it is all like possible. We don't have to be super mom. We don't have to be perfect parent. If you want to learn new skills, read some of the great books that are now out on parenting, such as Wayne Dyer's What Do You Really Want for Your Children? This is a new book. This is a good book. If you are a loving parent, your children will have an excellent chance of growing up to be the sort of people you would like to have as friends. They will be people who are self-fulfilled and successful. Okay, and the next one is about, creating your own great health. So often this is been, taken second seat of our health. Nutrition plays an extremely important role in our health and well-being in many ways. We are what we eat. My basic philosophy on food is if it grows, eat it. If it does not grow, don't eat it. I believe the fast food outlets, what she's saying indirectly, when it grows, that means a plant-based diet. If it is growing, please eat it. If it is walking or crawling, don't eat it. That's, our bodies are not designed for that one. And fast foods, I believe the fast food outlets are destroying the health of America. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grains grow. Twinkies and Coca-Cola do not grow. Processed food items have no food value. They are filled with sugar and sodium and contribute to the epidemic of disease we have. She also says she has her own garden, organic garden in her backyard, and she just eats from that only. She don't buy the vegetables also from outside. And she also says benefits of exercise. A great 1 minute exercise is to jump up and down 100 times. It is quick, easy, and makes you feel good. Let yourself dance to music. Run around the block you once. You could just get yourself a mini trampoline, a rebounder, or bounce on that gently at first. It is a really fun exercise. Some thoughts on smoking. Yeah, we don't have to do this. Menopause, natural and normal. So I believe that menopause is a normal, natural process of life. It is not meant to be a disease. So the more we accept the change or a transition, the more helpful, the more easy. The body sloughs off the bed that was prepared for a baby that was not conceived. It is also releases many toxics at that time. Typically, what happens in the period is like you are actually flushing off the toxins that the body do not want it. So, but when it is also released many toxins. If we eat a junk food diet or even the standard American diet of processed food, 32% animal foods and 57% processed plant foods, we are building up toxins all the time, perhaps more than we can eliminate. So body system, like our kidneys are like, excretion system have a certain amount of toxins it can excrete, but all because of this, that 57% are toxins, so body cannot eliminate. If we carry a lot of toxins in our body, then we are at a brink of menopause. Then the process will be more uncomfortable. So the better you take care of your body on a daily basis, the easier your menopause time will be. A difficult or easy menopause period begins with how we feel about ourselves and how we take care of ourselves from puberty on. Women who are experiencing a difficult menopause may have eaten poorly for a long time and have poor mental self-image. So one is intake from outside, the other is what self-image we have for ourselves. If we don't have enough nutritious food, that's when it becomes very painful. In the early 1900s, our lifespan was 49 years. In those days, menopause was not a big deal. By the time we had menopause, you were on a way out. Today, our lifespan is around 80 years, and we will soon go into 90s. So menopause is an issue that must be dealt with. More and more people today are choosing to take more active, responsible role in their health. She She also talks about some of the estrogen therapies is a positive treatment for some women, but she says that those therapies are not required. But if you have taken care of your body, if you have eaten really nutritious food and you have thought good about yourself, so that's about estrogen and progesterone, some of the treatments. She also says there are many holistic healers, are like herbs used by nutritious, and many homeopathic remedies that are helpful. And when you are going through that time, these are also natural substances that take the place of estrogen. These includes herbs such as Puroria mirificia, which can be used in Thailand for 700 years. Speak to your nutritionist or holistic practitioner about those matters. Remember, women today are pioneers who are working to change old negative belief patterns. And one more good tip she gives is, in our daily meditation, give and send love to each part of your body, specifically to your genital reproductive area. Thank those organs for serving you so well. Tell them, because that's where like the babies are born. So it is really like, have everything. Tell them you will do everything you can to keep them healthy. Developing a loving relationship with this part of your body, honoring your body, will strengthen these organs. As your uterus or ovaries, what they want from you. Together, plan your menopause as a simple transition time, comfortable for your organs and comfortable for your emotions. Love heals, and loving your body helps create well-beingness. And she also talks about cosmetic surgery. Cosmetic surgery, if you really wanted external, then probably you need it. But what the actual surgery, what the actual correctness is required at your soul level or a thought level, than making the changes to your external appearances. And she also says we need to take care of our heart. We hear so much about the dangers of breast cancer. So she points out some of the reasons for breast cancer from spiritually is about like a diet high in sugar and processed food and how in nutrients is not good for anyone. On a physical level, processed food, lack of exercise, and smoking all contributes to the cardiovascular diseases. We know this at a body level. But at an emotional level, the heart and the blood it pumps represents love and joy. So the heart and the blood it pumps represents love and joy and our early connection to family. Women with heart problems usually have unresolved family issues that takes away joy and love out of our lives. These issues might help joy, like suppose the heart stops, the heart's completely shut down, so it is not ready to take any love or a joy or happiness inside of you if you have unresolved issues, right? It can be with the family, it can be with your own self also. Closing your heart to love is very symbolic of shutting off the flow of life to our heart. So if you are shutting off, then there is no flow of love and joy to our heart happening. The emotional cause for so many diseases keeps coming back to the issues of forgiveness also. The spiritual lesson of forgiveness is very difficult one for all of us, yet is one that everyone has to learn. We want to have true healing. We each experience betrayal, loss, or abuse in some form. Forgiving the experience as those involved in part of spiritual maturity. If you're really forgiving, then it signifies that spiritually you are very mature. It is over and done and cannot be changed. So it has happened some time back, and what is the point of keeping that to our heart, that we are not able to forgive that person or forgive ourselves in that particular situation? How I have behaved, right? Letting go frees us from bondage from the past. That means you're living in your past only, you're not living in the future. We cannot be happy and healthy and prosperous and free as long as we are stuck in the past and we won't forgive. These are the biggest issues we have, all of us, and it's our biggest spiritual lesson to forgive, to love ourselves, and to live in the now. This heals the heart. And then there is one technique she shares. Once a day, sit quietly and place your hands upon your heart and send. Oh, sorry, I have to stop the live now. Okay, sorry, I have to stop the live now and then I'll start recording it because it's okay. Okay, so this is one technique that sit quietly and place your hands upon your heart, send it love, and allow yourself to feel the love your heart has for you. It has been beating for you since you are born, and it will work for you as long as you live. Look into your heart and see if there is any bitterness and resentment lingering there. Gently wash it away with forgiveness and understanding. You could, but just see the larger picture. You could understand the lessons. You send love to each member of your family and forgive them. Feel your heart relaxing and being at peace. Your heart is love. So it is the coherence that whenever we start meditating, before meditation, Chandra sir always said that keep your heart for the coherence. That's where we are building the connection between our thoughts, our mind, and then the heart. So it is all sync. And then the next chapter is about sexuality. It is a very eye-opening chapter for me. There is nothing wrong from the nature standpoint if a woman is marrying woman or a man is marrying men. That's a great trap, like getting into the judgment. So you're actually judging other person. Like from a soul standpoint, it's completely acceptable. Like it there is no gender for the soul. So that's what she talks about, exploring sexuality. And then the other chapter I wanted to talk about is sexual harassment and speaking out. She shares very nice example of what happened in her own surroundings or in her own home. Like, so how many times like you have been dishonored or assaulted and said nothing, right? Either by embarrassment or either by fear or either by guilt. So it talks about how it will block you. Harassment, it can happen to woman, or it can happen to a boy, it can happen to a girl also. It's not that harassment happens only for the females. So there is not a woman reading this book who has not been verbally abused or grabbed, pinched, or like fondled by someone who had no business touching us. And yet most of us keep quiet. We say nothing. It's time that we learn to speak out and stand up for ourselves. If we don't, we will never stop the nonsense. So she said, I had an accident recently in my own home involving a couple who worked for me. So she in her 60s, I guess. So she appointed some couple to take care of all of the house. So this husband and wife. So the husband has been good for quite a few time, and later on he start picking up the power as if like he is the one who is running all of the house. And 3/4 of the work he has been giving only to his wife, and he's not doing much. And she observed that, but then she thought like, okay, I'm not honoring. So she got that feeling, but she was not honoring the little feeling that says that something is not right. I was beginning to walk on the eggshells so that I wouldn't disturb him to keep him in a good mood. So the day after my 70th birthday, which was a marvelous affair, I discovered that he was grabbing many of my women friends. So that's when she sees like it is happening in her own house, that her friends are being affected by his behavior. So immediately when I talked with some of them, like it really disturbs her. She found out that has been going over for years and various functions, but no one had told her. He had been hitting on several of my employees, even molesting some of them, and her own personal secretary has been targeted when she's out of the town. So it blows her mind. She is like, I can't accept this happening in my own house, as if like she's the one who writes, like who empowers all of people, right? Like a loves have friends and employees. So they were frightened, they were embarrassed, they all had different reasons for not to come up and speak. So you probably know that some of them are because you may have used them yourself. I thought back to all the times that I put up with various forms of sexual abuse, and now. So what she does is like she calls him, and then she can realize that she's really shaking when she says no, get out of the house. She could not do, I mean, she has to muster all of her, though she is like, motivational speaker, motivational writer, that situation was not easy for her. And perhaps it was only the tip of iceberg to all of those women who were in 70th birthday. I apologize for any inappropriate behavior that occurred. So, but still, let me read out that one. I could have easily been taken in the excellent performance of total denial when he realized I wasn't buying his story. Then he was actually trying to tell his own story. She said, I'm not buying his story. He turned vicious and nasty. However, like I had not only my support team, I also had the phone in my hand, thinking that 911 will be the easy to punch in. I said that I wanted him out of the house and off the property by morning. My palms were sweating. There was not a knot in my stomach. There was a knot in my stomach, and I felt a sense of power. It wasn't easy for me to stand up to the big 6 feet 5 inch man who was very angry, while I had a lot of compassion to his wife. I also know she was an enabler. Yeah. And the only way she could handle his womanizing was to be in total denial or to blame those who fondle. Often, when a husband is womanizer, an abuser, the wife will keep herself in a denial by making the other woman wrong. So this is what it happened in her own house, like for her 70th birthday. Yeah, so it's a great example that it gives. So, and after this, she do the self analysis. What made me to behave or to tolerate his behavior? So she calls her therapist. Though she has done a lot of counseling, though she has has been in a situation that she has handled, but she wanted to know what part of her allowed his behavior, like at initial signs that she could not pick up. So she calls her counselor and he asks her question. So did you ever had anger towards your stepfather? Her stepfather was abusive. She said, I don't have an anger, but I had fear and I have a terror. But he probes that, do you really had any of these feelings towards him? then she realized, yeah, there was some behavior of hers from the childhood that was not acknowledged, that was not, healed properly. That's when this happened. So yeah, so this is about how to stand up for yourself, and affirmations for honoring ourselves. I'll read out the affirmations, and I will just have one last, we will finish in under 5 minutes. I know it taken a lot of time. Affirmations for honoring ourselves. I am a valued human being. I am always treated with respect. I am empowered. I am supporting of other women. I easily speak up for myself. She says, I easily speak up for myself. I don't take time and I don't struggle to speak up for myself. I deserve to have boundaries. My boundaries are respected. I make waves whenever I need to. I have a good support team. I have integrity. The more open I am, the safer I am. This is also a beautiful thing. We all think that if I get open, I may be vulnerable, but if I am open more, that's when I am more safe. My self-worth is very strong. I am a woman healing other women. I have a strong energy barrier. The men in my life honor women. I embrace my power. I love and honor myself. The next chapter is about getting older. So she talks like, okay, we get till 40s or 50s, okay, you're all with your families, but when really get older, what do you want to do? How do you want to contribute to the society or a community? Having to have all of your knowledge, that wisdom you have acquired. Typically we had our grandmoms in our back in, like, we don't have it here now, like how grandmoms have been helpful in the families. That's when she says, like, all of when we get old, all of this knowledge and everything that we have to put together towards the society to make it better society. And she also asks every woman to run for politics, so that you are actually changing the contributing to the community. Yeah, your future is always bright. So she says, I truly believe the fears we have are unnecessary. It is something we have been taught. So the fear is not ours. Like it is been imparted by different means in our childhood or before that also. It has been programmed into us. It is just habitual thinking pattern that it can be changed. Negative thinking is prevalent among so many women in their later years. As a result, they live out their lives in discontent. So what happens, like, because of this, the most painful part is like when we become old, how do you want to die? Do you really want to die with discontent? So that's where it develops, the discontent. I want you to create a conscious ideal for your later years to help you realize that this can be the most rewarding years of your life. Know that your future is always bright, no matter what is your age. See your later years becoming your treasure years. You can become an elder of excellence, someone who knows that you can be strong, active, vital part of society no matter what your age. As you sit quietly, bring your attention inward. Think of all the times you were joyful and let your body feel the joy. Remember all the times you were a winner, the times when you did something you are proud of, even small things. Hold these feelings close to you, this joy and confidence. Now look forward 10 years. What do you see yourself doing and being? How do you look? How do you feel? Are you carrying the joy with you? Now go 10, 20 years down the road. What do you see? Are you alive, alert, and interested in life? Are you surrounded by friends you love? Are you doing things to fulfill you? What is the contribution that you are making to life? Right now, it is a time for you to visualize and create your future. Make it as healthy and as bright, as joyful as you can. It is your life and you are going to live it. So masters, let's stop here. So I think she shares very good. Okay, the last one is about building a financially secure future. Yes, that's something we all before 20 years ago maybe that's the case, but now also it is very prevalent that creating that financial security is very important for every woman, and women in support of women. Like you always have to have that. How do you help other women's. As a conclusion, I will say inside of you is a smart, powerful, dynamic, capable, self-confident, alive, alert, fabulous woman. Let her come out and play. The world is waiting for you. Okay. Okay, friends, let's stop here. Do you have anything to share? I know, thank you for being with me for this long time, but yeah, this is a small book, but I really, could not give the conclusion, so I was reading a few part of it. Hey, Sheetal, nice to see you.
Yes, Pushpa, thank you so much for the wonderful explanation of this book. You touched each and every topic. Of course, we have read and heard so many times about this topic, right? But every time we hear from masters, the perspective is changed. Something new hits, though the book is already familiar, and you shared it so beautifully, so joyfully, and very, very, very much enjoyed the session. Thank you so much, Pushpa, and very much needed for the hour. How to embrace ourselves, who we are, and what we are. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheetal. Thank you so much. Thank you, Divya. Okay, friends, if you have no questions, we can close the session. Next week we are going to come with another wonderful book. That's a suspense. unless Sheetal, you want to share.
Yeah. So, you know what? Like, actually, it is very similar to what you shared. It's an extension of this book, right? Extension of what you spoke, but especially for the parents and children, how to raise your children, how to become that parents that you are helping your family to be awakened. Wonderful book, and we are going to understand about this book. I was feeling I wish I had this book in my hands when my kids were young. I could have been a better mom, but nevertheless, at least this knowledge is going to help someone. As Pushpa said, right? Be a wise woman and share your knowledge and wisdom so that it will be useful for others. So that's what I'm going to do now. Thank you, Pushpa.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheetal. Okay, friends, let's close the session. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's meet next week, same time, Tuesday, with the book. I'm really grateful for Sheetal coming forward and, sharing her wisdom. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pushpa.
Thank you, Anjali. Thank you, Srinigaru. Do you
Yeah,
want to
beautiful insights. Beautiful insights.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, great information. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Srinigaru. Thanks.